Hello, and welcome to playing Crusader Kings 3 on the hardest possible difficulty, starting as the Duke of Champagne in 1178. Way back in episode 2, we were dispossessed of our lands, largely because of Henry II Plantagenet. Since then, we've been landless, slowly building up our camp and army to try to finally retake some lands. In this episode, I certainly hope we manage to accomplish that. The question becomes, where do we want our lands to be? So one option is either here in Champagne, which is our traditional lands, more likely over here in Valois. We could use a special decision since we're French and the uh, current Duke of Valois is Polish. We could go over to his lands, champion the French culture, and take the land from him. So you can see here, so long as what sort of how this works. You move to a duchy, you get a press claim, you can get benefits to fighting him, or you can even get the duchy peacefully if you have uh, satisfied certain conditions. So while that is attractive, ultimately I think I don't want to do it. And the reason why is largely because of this gentleman. We will pin him. So he is a scourge conqueror from Mali. You can see that he is currently bordering, well, I take it back, he's almost bordering the Kingdom of France. And when he does border France, he can take all of it using the unlimited kingdom level casus belli that scourge conquerors have. So my very serious concern is if we were to become landed in France, what would happen is France then gets attacked by the Scourge Conqueror in Mali, loses, we lose our lands again, end up landless again. Simply don't want to do that. So I think instead the plan is to see, is there a small independent kingdom that we could take over that would give us some flexibility where we could become someone's tributary if a Scourge Conqueror gets close to us, and but still have enough land and power to build up our base. And looking around, I think the choice here, is Denmark. You see, it says their military strength is superior to ours. I'm skeptical. We have a lot of crossbowmen that will counter these Varangian veterans and Huscarls. You see he only has 5 gold currently, so he would not be able to hire any mercenaries. He's also stuck in a different war. And I don't know how long all those conditions will last, but I do think what I want to do is start moving over toward him after I complete some of these high-level contracts here. And then get closer, we'll plan on attacking him and seeing if we can take his lands. You can see here that we have 1,700 crossbowmen. We want to keep building up our armies, including by calling in request here. But the plan is to start moving over there. We'll see. It's a lot of gold. I didn't realize we had a hook on him. Well, so with that hook, we could take Valois peacefully, but I think I'd rather have the gold. I think taking Valois, exposing ourselves to, another Scourge Conqueror just is not the way to go. I think that would, I personally would be quite annoyed with having to become landless yet again. Just not what I want to do. So cashing in those hooks has given us quite a bit of gold. We will almost certainly use that gold to build up our forces a bit more. Do a handful of more contracts here. get even more crossbowmen, since if we're attacking the Danes, we know we're really want to counter their heavy infantry. We have a couple of high tier or just easy contracts that I think let's do here, and then we'll start moving over to Denmark. Just looking for the best option here. That looks good. Let's go see how much we get gold we get for that. You'll probably be doing it. Other thing I want to do is hit one more point of interest, so I can max out the reward from a decision that will give us a very good book, namely this one. You can see here that says, every 12 visited points of interest up to 60 will increase the rewards. We are currently at 59, so one more. Gold we get here. I guess we'll do that one as well. Just going for the highest chance here. See if we can get some more either gold or men-at-arms. This guy isn't willing to give us much, but I guess we'll take the gold. Same for this guy. I mean, we're going to be moving out of this area soon, so let's move to Luxembourg. Because of the size of our army, we're really going to be consuming a lot of provisions, so that's life. We'll figure it out. Okay, now I think we have a serious army at this point. get some cheap knights. They're not the greatest knights, but they'll be good enough. Gold. Can't get much from this guy. Wonder if we go at a short pilgrimage, if we can hit some point of interest on the way. We can. I think if we just, maybe if we just travel to Aachen, that will do it itself. I don't know. It does bring us a bit closer to Denmark, so do it anyway. We are going to run out of provisions, unfortunately. I definitely want to claim some lands in the future. That is absolutely what I want to do. Alright, well, gather up some provisions here and move on. Guess we'll just buy them. Let's customize the route to hit this point of interest. That should be the 60th one we need for the decision I was showing earlier. Is that it? Okay, easy enough. There we go, we have 60. So this is what we want here. Provides lifestyle experience for future holders. Just amazingly powerful. Yep, plus 40% experience. So that's just great. Really help all of our heirs, everyone from the rest of the game. Let's see how far we can move with our immense camp here. I don't know who the we in that sentence is, but whatever. So do this contract. Should be fairly easy. pay to refill our supplies, which is painful, but is what it is. Boost for a little while. Unfortunately, we are in poor health. That's not good. So it really does emphasize that we want to get up there and attack Denmark. Okay, so let's take a look here. They're still fighting. He has a little bit more gold, but probably not enough to hire any mercenaries. I think we have maxed out 2 regiments of crossbows. Feel very strong on those. Could get trebuchets. Let's think about, are there any other decisions that we haven't done that we would want to? Don't think that one. So we've talked before about we are not taking Conqueror as part of the playing on the hardest difficulty levels. We aren't going to accept being a Conqueror. I think we're probably about as ready as we're going to be once we refill our men. Okay. I am at war because of the crusade. Okay. All right. Fair enough. And we will just sit here and we can do some more quests, more contracts. Just have to wait until the crusade ends. There's a plague. Don't want to be near the plague. We'll move our camp again. This is very bad. Okay. So, important lesson there about making sure you have enough provisions. We'll just buy them. Really don't know when this crusade is going to be over. Fail a 95% chance, apparently so. Okay, happens. Seems like it happens more often than it should, but who knows? Could just be randomness. Do really wish this crusade would have finished one way or the other. It seems to be bouncing back and forth at the moment, which is not good. Could go to that tournament, though we're blind, so we probably can't do anything. Maybe playing our daughter here soon. We'll pen our granddaughters, neither of whom has a very good education trait. The Scourge Conqueror of Mali died, but his heir still a Scourge Conqueror, so still presents a significant threat. We'll pass on the tournament since I'm now blind. Even if our character dies, it's not the end of the world. The issue would be that our daughter would need to build up a significant amount of prestige, level of fame to take on Denmark. And obviously it's possible that Denmark will become more powerful and we'd have a more difficult time defeating them. But I guess at this point we are just stuck and there's really nothing to do about it. Gold, that's good. Probably really just want gold here. So that way when we do take land, as we hope we will, we'll have a good stock of gold to build some buildings and we'll get a good start on developing our lands. Our prowess is still quite good. Hopefully we can take this hunt criminal decision and kill this criminal in one-on-one combat. I mean, he has a prowess of 1, so I would certainly think that I could. Guess I can no longer fight them since I'm blind. Guess that makes sense. How long has this crusade lasted? 8 years. Okay. Should have been like a 95% chance, but I'll see now what 95% chances go. About to max out our intrigue lifestyle. After that, we'll likely go for martial, since we do plan on combat very soon. Just a matter of the crusade finishing one way or the other. Artifact delivery, it's quite lucrative. Get some experienced captains and medical equipment for us so we don't drown. Okay, now that explains that nickname. It's unfortunate for our current pope. Be incapable and thus be called the sleeping. Yeah, so unfortunately there's not much to do at the moment besides wait for the crusade to end. And just, continue to do contracts, get gold. So Denmark has finished its war, which is bad. They've got more gold. So taking on Denmark now is going to be challenging, but there's not much to... We could look around for better options. I don't know if there's much else to do, really. I mean, we could go back and to it's Akitan here, or at least Valois. Start a war there. How powerful is Val? Not very powerful at all. Okay, looks like the crusade is almost over, but again, we're going to have to deal with a full strength. Full strength Denmark that will have its allies that it can call in, so I don't really know what our chances are of winning under that circumstance. Again, love going on grand tournaments, but I think at this point, no longer have any eyesight, so I mean, their allies actually are not contributing a lot besides the levies. We have a lot of this countered. The Huskarls and Varangian veterans are most dangerous things. you know, their archers, the big men here will be counted. I think it's really only the Bondi. Okay, let's do one more contract. Hopefully the crusade will end. Still at 99%, taunting me. Go do this other, maybe not. So this hired muscle scheme. Okay. See, is there a temple nearby? It's a city. So let's move to this temple. I want to get the health benefit if I can. Guess I already have it. Take the little bit of health benefits we can get. All right, well, here goes something. What? Not sure why they're starving. Anyway. Yeah, I don't get why we start off starving. This is not good at all. Well, we'll see how it goes. It goes poorly. Okay, well. Alright. That was that. Okay. So there you go. really disappointing. Alright. This guy's still a scourge conqueror, but he has lost a war. Maybe we just go back to France and see if we can what we can do there. I did think our armies would perform better. Maybe Sweden hired a bunch of mercenaries. No. I mean, the fact that we started off starving was quite surprising. But obviously that was a disaster, so let's see how far we can get without any armies. Valois is led by a Norman, though also quite powerful, so probably not going to be able to win there. I don't know. If we try Flanders, it's, you know, a relatively good duchy. She's not. Yeah, she's Norman. Or just try some other. Just looking here to see if there are any weak dukes that we could take over. He just has a ton of gold, so he could just pump out mercenaries if he wanted to. About where we are. I genuinely did not expect that war to go that badly. I don't know why we started off starving. Maybe it was something to do with not having enough provisions. I feel sort of disappointed in myself that I have not played landless enough to know how to play it well and, you know, show you how to excel at it. But, you know, at the beginning of each of these campaigns, I've committed to show, you know, everything that happens, including any mistakes I make, and that clearly was something went disastrously wrong there. I really don't know. So again, just looking to see who is the weakest duke who we could attack. And we could take over Bar, and then we should be able to take over Champagne immediately. So that might, maybe, let's see, is the guy from Bar, is he French? Yeah, he is. Okay, so that's unfortunate. If he weren't French, then we could use that special decision. Let's see if we can, how expensive it will be to move our camp closer to him. Guess we'll just stay where we are and do some more contracts. Try to get our baggage train a little bit larger, and that way we'll be able to take on more provisions. Really not sure at this point about whether my character is going to be alive long enough. At least he will give his daughter a powerful army once it's refilled. I should probably do that when we get back to castle. Army is all back. I have him married to one of our daughters since he is Herculean. Let's see how close we can get while being careful not to exceed our provisions. Hopefully this will work. We'll just have to see. This really, isn't ideal. I'm still concerned about being attacked by Mali, though, that guy did lose the Crusade. Maybe he'll lose the Scourge-of-the-gods modifier, conquer altogether, but, I think this is our best chance for now. See what we can achieve here. At least our armies didn't immediately start starving to death as soon as they were raised, so that's good. Still not sure what happened when we did that against Denmark. Maybe Denmark was just too powerful and we wouldn't have won against them anyway, but certainly being starving right off the bat did not help. Does look like we will win this war. We'll do our best to proceed from here and rebuild our realm. Of course, we're now losing a massive amount of gold because of our army size. Let's see who we can marry here. See, there are really some quite powerful rulers around. I think you'll take a alliance with him. Chose our lifestyle. So we'll vote for ourselves. So why not? Swear fealty with low feudal obligations. See how messed up our succession is. Go through and pen any decisions as necessary. Organized court for now. Not sure we have a lot of children at the moment, but we will keep them well educated if we do. Yep, so our men-at-arms are just too many. Maybe over, yeah, we're over the limit here. So I think we'll destroy trebuchets, and then I think we need these conroys. So that helps. Let's see if we put feudal elective on. Does that make it all go to our daughter? No. Right, so we're still losing a county. That's is what it is. Build some windmills here. That should really help. I would like to get my duchy back, our original lands. We will have to Modify our vassal contract. That will do it. This is hopefully the first part of a long road back. We do have our ally here. Hopefully he's not too far. Okay. So we will wait until he is done with his war before we do anything. Are making a little gold, you see. That's all good. We'll work on building up some, our 3 buildings here. And of course, we are playing on -3 domain limit for the player only, which is why we only have a domain limit of 3. Normally it would be much higher. Try to get gold, because we always need gold. Guess that's another ally that could come help us. So what I really want to do now is we're just going to wait till this war is over with, and as soon as it is, we are going to declare war for our ancestral lands in Champagne. Bring in our new and incredibly powerful ally here. So he seems to be getting beat up by whoever he's fighting. Okay, so we have a little control on some counties. We can help that up. Might as well take that Duchy of Anhalt, suppress claim. It's not too far away. Get our daughters married to people with good genetic traits. Hopefully, if there is anyone. Not a single person who is intelligent, apparently. At least not wants to marry. Okay. See if we can get any dark insights here. Blade Master is still good, even though we're playing on very hard. Knights are significantly nerfed. Would also like Vanguard, and there it is. So that's good. So, our plan here is, hopefully this war ends one way or another, and we can then attack for Champagne, and, I think hopefully getting our ancestral lands back, though nothing is guaranteed, will be a fitting end to this episode. We'll just have to see how long the war that Bohemia is fighting in goes on. Seems to be going back and forth a bit. Don't think we can take on Champagne alone. Let's take another look. No. It does say, well, it says it's inferior because they're counting Bohemia, which, if you count Bohemia, it's certainly true, but they seem to be otherwise engaged at the moment. Sure, take a Duchy of Bar, may well be inexpensive, largely because we are just a duke. Take the gold from these hooks. More gold is always good. I am in poor health, which is not that good. And our daughter is relatively talented. Oh, hopefully she'll be able. Most hope we die. Let's take a look at her kids. Hopefully they are not too bad. We can work on them a bit. Give them some decent traits, at least get temperate. What is she going to be? Diplomat. Let's change it, even though probably lead her to having a terrible education. I don't really want to. We'll just leave her at intrigue. Okay, so I'm almost certainly going to die here. And it'll be up to my daughter to, well, she won't get the claim on, she won't have a claim on Champagne, so it'll be up to my daughter to do whatever she can to restore the family's inheritance. She will have some claims that the Pope granted me. Obviously, one disadvantage to being landed is you can't just move your camp away from plagues. Okay. So, see, she only has one domain limit here. And she only has one county or 2 counties, so she's not even that much above her domain limit. Hold off on nominating a successor. Of course, she went down the worst tree in stewardship. I think let's just stress her out, reset the perks. Yeah, we'll hold a feast immediately afterwards. Not sure if anyone will come to our feast in our plagued lands, but let's give it a try. Athletic is good, so at least there is one benefit there. guess, do we have any claims? I just want to look to see what can. All right, we have these duchies sort of scattered around. Confused why our player heir isn't this girl. Any event, we will make her. Okay, now she's our player heir. Okay. Is there any reason to start getting some claims here? Gold. Completely de-stress. All of our neighbors are so powerful. I really don't know what we're going to do from here. All right, so probably going to get attacked here. Let's see if our younger daughter can be married to someone with a give us a very strong alliance. Kingdom of Bohemia, that looks good. If he doesn't die. I guess we should have isolated our capital and so forth, but hardly matters now. Is the Bohemia still fighting its war, guarding Hungary? Take over the education of our children here. Not sure why I can't educate my other daughter. I guess having this guy as a ally is better than nothing. Sort of a minor alliance. Okay. Everyone has consumption or other diseases. Guess let's isolate our capital. As well enter seclusion, try to prevent ourselves from getting diseased. One thing I'm curious about is if we attack Flanders, do we have to declare war on France, or can we just attack Flanders alone? Looks like we can't just attack Flanders. Okay, so that's good. Too bad we're never going to be getting our lands in Champagne back, but that's the way it goes. Okay, I've been playing for a while now. You know, again, I think not much to say here except Um, our first two campaigns went really smoothly. This third campaign has really showed the challenges and difficulties of playing on this hardest possible rule set. We are just really struggling here. I don't know that there's a great way back. We'll just have to see what we can do through alliances and very slowly accumulating more power. But maybe people will frankly will die and give us opportunities. But other than that, it's a real question of where we will, where and how we'll be able to restore our power. And on that grim note, I hope you will tune in next time. I think you won't see me painting the map or rolling over people. Hopefully, I'll be able to make some good strategic decisions, and we can see where we go for there. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you watch the next episode. Bye.